Hello, worked another day of Big Pats Under the Hood. And today, as you can see by the backdrop, I'm out here again in the garage. I've been out here pretty good while this morning, brought the Monte Carlo out and everything, did a little shakedown run on it. Didn't really have time to film it, but checked all the fluids in it, went up the street with it, checked it out. And I bought a buffer polisher online from eBay. And I know a lot of people talk about the eBay stuff like this here, but I just want to show what it did and what I was able to do. On my Range Rover right here, I had a scratch right up in there on my Range Rover. I had a scratch on it. And what I did was put some rubbing compound on it, buffed the scratch down, then came back with some wax and waxed it. And as you can see, that scratch is out of there. So that's what I did on that. The video of the day and the topic of the day is that I'm once again working on my C10, and I found some more things on it that I kind of had an idea what's wrong with them, but I had time today to check it and see what it was. And this is what I found. My pitman arm is loose, and my outer arm was bad. The outer arm was bad on it. And what was happening is that when I'd be driving it, sometime I'd mash my brakes, and I'd have like it would pull to one side or the other. Well, I already had replaced the tie rod ends on it. I had replaced those on it. So I knew it couldn't be anything else. And I did have a right brake caliper that was sticking. So replaced the brake caliper, the brake line and all that and that kind of thing. And seeing if that did it, that didn't do it. So I said, well, if the brakes are not dragging anymore, the only thing else it could be would be that idler arm and the pivot arm. So replace that, and as you can see, I've got the springs painted. I'm waiting to install them. I'm gonna go and instead of taking this lower control arm off, what I'm gonna do is give me a little propane torch. I've already drilled holes inside of the rubber bushings. And so what I'm gonna do is take the propane torch, heat them up, and just melt the rubber and melt them out of there. That'll be the best way. That way it won't I won't have to go through the work of taking them off and stuff like that. And that's what I'm gonna do. Before I go any further, do me a favor if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel. Hit a like or dislike. Share the video. And give me a comment and feedback. And let's help get the channel up and going. As you can see, I've put the upper control arms back on the vehicle. I always put anti-seize on the shaft of the threads of anything I put on. Once I wash the vehicle one time, that anti-seize will come off of there. But I put anti-seize on everything because the thing of it is that with the moisture stuff that we have down here in Texas and all that, man, you can get somewhere and be working on something, and that stuff just won't want to come off of there. So that's what I'm doing now. You can see I removed the whole steering assembly. So the only thing that's left is the tie rod ends and the drag link. That's the only thing it's left on there. And I've already replaced the in and out of tie rod ends. So I'll just clean all that stuff up like I was doing. You give it a fresh coat of clear, put it back up there, and I'll replace this idler arm and the pitman arm, put those back up. But I won't do those until I actually put the control arm bushings in there and put the spindles and everything back on the vehicle and get all that tightened down and everything like that. Then I'll do that. But besides that, that's all I'm gonna do. Monte Carlo, it's you can see it's finished. It doesn't need anything but to get windshield, and for me to go down and put the scoop on the hood, and then move on to the body work and stuff like that. And that's where I'm at now, because both of these vehicles I bought them brand new in the 80s. I bought both of them new, and I've had several other vehicles, but these here I just kept, and they were kind of near and dear to my heart. But otherwise, that, like I say, if you're working on your vehicle and you have another vehicle you can drive, just take your time and rebuild a complete front end. Like I've done the same thing on the Monte Carlo. As you can see, it's got the polypropylene bushings on it, new shocks, and all the same stuff. The same stuff that I'm doing to the C10 I did to this Monte Carlo here. I didn't spare nothing on it. I'm not going to spare anything on that, because the worst thing to do is be in a hurry to get something going, and then you mess around there and get to driving it. You done got it painted and everything done. Then you got to go back under the vehicle and do something that you should have done before you got to that point. Because the way I do things is I get all the mechanicals out the way first. Get all that done. Engine, transmission, suspension, brakes, all that stuff out the way. And then I'll move on to the air conditioning and the heat. Get that done if it needs to be replaced or anything like that. Do all that. Once I get all that up and going, then my next thing is the weather stripping and things like that. I get that done, get the weather stripping and stuff done. Then I completely gut the vehicle. Get it all gutted out. Then I'll move on to the body work and the paint. Get that done, bring the vehicle back, and then reassemble the vehicle. And that way, you know you've touched every system on the vehicle. You know that everything's good. If you do want air conditioner or heat, if you do or don't, you want to block it off, that's your thing. But if you're gonna have it and you got the vehicle tore down, hey, just go through it. Replace the office tube, get the office tube replaced on it. If it's been sitting up for a while, drain all the oil out of it and run you some cleaner through it. That way you get the system completely dry, vacuum it down, add the proper amount of oil to the system, replace it. Because the worst thing in the world to do is, and this has happened to me before, have a system on the vehicle, get to riding, the compressor goes out on you. Now you gotta go back over and you're like, oh man, this thing was working just fine. And another thing, if you have air conditioning on your vehicle, use it at least once a week. And this myth about, it's gonna make me burn more gas. In the older cars where it had those long A6 compressors and those York compressors that put a lot of parasitic load on the engine, yes, though they did burn. They did, use quite a bit of gas because of the parasitic load from the compressors. But if you have an older vehicle and you change to one of these compressors right here, this Saniden that I have right here, you see it's not that big, and it doesn't have a big parasitic load on the engine when you're running it. So, the gas mileage is not going to suffer from the gas mileage. And if you put a overdrive transmission in and stuff like that, it's just the thing that you want to be comfortable in your vehicle. When you're driving your vehicle, you want to be comfortable. When it's warm, you want to be able to have air conditioning. When it's cold, you want to be able to have heat. You may want to ride with your windows down, that's fine. But what if it starts raining? And now you're trying to drive a really nice vehicle in the rain with the windows cracked. That's miserable. The humidity inside, you got your kids with you, your girlfriend, your or whoever, your friends or whatever. That's no way to do it. So if you're gonna do something, take your time. Don't be in any hurry. Don't be in any hurry. And touch every system on the vehicle. So that way, once you pull it out, you ain't got to be nowhere trying to do something else because you've already done it. There's your message for the day. Remember, if you haven't done so, help me out. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share the vehicle. that I have on the channel with other people. If you like it, hey, send me a message. Let me know, because I do respond whenever you send me messages. Believe it or not, I respond. And for every one of my subscribers, I thank God for you. And I look forward to the channel getting bigger and better. And enjoy the rest of your day.